Ready? In 3, 2, 1. Piss!
Piss! It's the Humanities.
Oh!
Soixante Neuf.
Is it?
It is.
No. Really?
It's Soixante Neuf.
Didn't we just do one of them?
No, that was a Soixante 8.
Oh, that was the other show.
Yeah, we've done one on the Dark Souls show. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Got ya. Okay, cool.
Did we call that one Soixante Neuf? I don't know if
I think we might have called it something very similar, like City 9.
Yeah, I think we can get away with Soixante Neuf for this one. So we're going to have a chat about a few bits of nerd. We've got some other stuff on the horizon that we've been kind of talking about, and then sort of we seemed really ready to podcast it, and then somebody got distracted with something that I think they're going to talk about tonight.
Yes, CJ.
So, I've done nothing.
Putting you straight on blast because I got in there first, and it's now your fault.
Right. So you can start then.
All right. Oh, I didn't write any notes. Okay,
because
fine.
This is an episode that we've.
This is pretty normal.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't it? I mean, this is pretty standard.
Are you freestyling?
I'm freestyling as always.
You call the hard stepper, murderer.
I've.
Na 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 na.
I've.
Na 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 na.
Any more?
Na 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 na.
Okay. We're doing something else, which we'll talk about later. But in the meantime, I did something I've never done before. I did a pre-order of a digital game.
I know what you're talking about. This has been your entire last week.
Yep, since Tuesday last week.
At the point, it seemed like because we were doing some other stuff.
Yeah,
and
we're prepping something.
We seemed to be ready to go with that, and then
this happened.
I think you disappeared.
Yeah,
and then you came back to me and were like, "Oh, I could possibly," and I was like, "Nah, I'm working solid now." And then we got back into that, and we seemed to be ready to podcast again, and you disappeared. And this is your disappearing thing. Talk about it, bitch.
It suplexed the other plan through a table. See what I did? So I pre-ordered a game, the sequel, the follow-up to my Game of the Year 2013, because I looked it up, because I wasn't sure.
2013?
2013, mate. I looked
Is it
it
that
up.
long ago?
Yeah.
Mofo.
I know, right? 2013 feels like less. How quick time goes on.
That's crazy.
I know. Don't feel right, does it?
No.
So, for those who don't know, my Game of the Year 2013, right, was a little-known game. Little known. I wouldn't shut up about it. Guacamelee. And then on Tuesday last week, Guacamelee 2 came out.
You were excited for this.
I was fucking excited because I saw it on the store and I was like, I might just pre-order it because it's 10% off and I'm definitely going to get it. And it's like
Did it
4 days
kind of catch you unawares a little bit? Did you know it was
forgotten
coming and
it
then
was
you've forgotten it was arriving at that specific time?
I think because it hadn't really shown up at E3 in any massive form. I just didn't. You don't think about it. You're like, oh, look at all the other stuff that's coming, and like the other stuff you're excited about, like goes to the back. You know, your Norman Reeduses and your samurai games, all 73 of them.
It
push that out of your brain, don't they?
It could have been worse for you. It'd be like, Guacamelee 2 is launching on Switch first, which you wouldn't blame them. Because
Switch exclusive. Eat my dick.
No, but you know what I mean? A lot of things are launching first on Switch because...
I think a lot of things are launching later on Switch. Like,
I think you're wrong.
Because I've seen a lot of chat this week about games getting announced and then people complaining they're not on the Switch or they're on the wrong platform or it's not the right game. And like, stop being that guy. Don't be that guy. Oh, we've just announced Onimusha. Oh, I wish they'd announced this game instead. Don't be that guy.
Oh, yeah, I know.
That guy's a dick. Don't be that guy.
Hey, I've had the side of it where it's like, Xbox has got no exclusive games. Xbox gets an exclusive game. Why isn't this on PlayStation?
Yeah. Or the other one, which is game announced. Why isn't it on Switch? Because I used to be the why isn't it on Vita guy. And I know that. I understand the pain, but you are being a dick when you say that. I learned to stop.
There's that one that Shadow dropped last night. The one that's like a cross between Pacific Rim and chess.
Oh yeah, Untitled Goose Game.
Into the Breach, is it?
That's a good goose noise.
Brad Galloway's enjoying it.
Well, and he's a man of good taste, so that can only be a good thing.
He is.
The Wilberforce. Anyway,
Press on.
Off track.
Stop getting distracted.
Back to Guac. So I saw it on the store for like pre-order, and I thought, oh fuck, wait, it's in like I think it was like 10 days before it was coming out. I was like, no, really? And I googled it quickly in case it was like 10 weeks. And I was wrong, thank God, because I don't know what the store counter does. It's like it's got like a timer. I don't know if it's days, weeks, minutes. There's no labelling on it. So I got, do you know what? Fuck it, go on then. So I pressed it. I got it bought. I paid my 12 quid, whatever it was, which is frankly stupid money, utterly stupid money for a game like this.
Too expensive.
So expensive.
Should be under a tenner.
I'm not going to get that. Yeah, if it's under a tenner, I'll let you have it. Thanks, Laura. She bargains all the time with this stuff. I love her dearly. So yeah, I pre-ordered it and kind of promptly then forgot about it again a bit until it turned up on my home screen. Like, oh, it's downloaded. Oh, it unlocks in 3 days. I didn't realise that was a thing that happened when you pre-order a game digitally. I didn't know. So it's just there.
That's Dutty. I remember. Was it Skyforce Anniversary? No, Skyforce Reloaded. When it was announced, I was like, oh fucking A. And then it went up on the Xbox store, and it was about. I'm sure it was about a month before it came out at that point, and it instantly downloaded and just stayed on the system for a month. And I was like, that is horrible.
Plus, if it's there, like, is it not done?
Yeah.
Like, can 100%. I not just have it if it's here?
Yeah.
Or maybe it was reserving the space to put it into, maybe. I don't know.
It's that Colbert gif, isn't it? Like, give it to me now!
Yeah.
Or Invader Zim, like, I have a mighty need!
So yeah, it sat there taunting me on my fucking home screen for like 3 days, and I was like, yeah, come on. And I worked it out when it was going to unlock like a couple of days earlier, and it's going to be midnight on like Monday to Tuesday. And I'm sitting there thinking, do I? No, I didn't in the end. Frankly, because work is hell right now. So your boy needs his sleep. Your boy's working very, very hard at the moment. Your boy's very tired, but he's carrying this company on his back right now. All of it. Do you want another thing done? Stick it on the backpack. Just go puck it on there. I'll carry this whole place on my broad white shoulders.
Broad.
I didn't say they were very big. I just said they were wide.
Are you getting swole?
I'm getting buffly.
I'm getting swole.
You're getting a bit buffle, aren't you? Yeah.
People have noticed it happened again tonight. It's kind of cool. And now I've kind of I've zipped off the beard as well. I don't know if it's the beard has cooked my skull or what, but I have like this. Especially because like I've muscled up a lot in my arms and my shoulders and my neck. I've got like a Superman neckline at the minute.
Oh,
and it's looking good. Also, I've got kind of the super slick back YouTube hair.
Fuck you.
Yeah,
fuck you. Because I shaved my beard off by accident the other day, and what I was left with this horrible no chin mess. It looked terrible.
I'm still stubble jawed, obviously. Hey, ladies and gentlemen. But
rough for your pleasure.
Yeah, but the weird thing, I know this is a tangent, but I've kind of all of my clothes now bury me. So all of the sort of nerdy Japanese stuff that I've been buying, I've now got to buy again in a size down. No. Here's what you do, right? No. You need to buff harder. More buff, more meat. I don't. The thing, yeah, but meat is
thick slabs of steak.
Yeah, but I'm already doing that anyway. It's just that I cut out
thick slabs of coffee rub steak.
I cut out sugar, bread, pasta, all that kind of bollocks.
Bread.
My only vegetables are spinach, mushrooms, and broccoli because they're all low carb. And the rest is protein. And it's working for your boy. Oh, and you know the other stuff like lots of yoga and things, which I did anyway. But yeah, it's been good.
Go on, son. Getting buffy.
Yeah.
Getting tight
it's almost
for the summer
as if
that's finished.
It's almost as if. Yeah, this is the thing. Like I'm in kind of quite slender clothes, and I'm like, yeah, I'm looking good. I'm looking muscly. It'd be like, no, the weather's like, no, put a jumper on it.
I'm working on that beach bod, and the wind be like, nah, though.
I tell you what I could do though. Maybe I could go to Mexico and wrestle, like in that sequel to that game that you liked.
That's a good bit. Good segue. And look what we've done. We've just done a good link and called the link out, thus ruining the link.
We alive.
That's a podcast foible. That's one of those things where if you hear a podcast do it, you have to take a drink. Like, if someone does a good segue and they call out how good the segue was.
Pod goes the Weeble.
Oh.
Anyway.
Guacamelee 2.
Tell me about it.
Yeah,
about?
It's very, very similar in structure to Guacamelee 1, which is a very, 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 and I mean very, very, just very good thing. Because for me, Guacamelee 1 is basically like my perfect platformer. It played good. The powers linked together nicely. Like the way you explore the game,
and it looks lovely.
It looks gorge. It's funny as well. Like, you know, the original game is very, very funny. Leans a little too hard onto meme humour, so some of the jokes don't quite hit as good as they do anymore. When you've got like the crazy wolf meme posters on a wall and the Me Gusta guy. And you know, that sort of stuff. It's fine. Yeah, they're still amusing. But yeah, like it just played so good. I probably ran through that thing about 10 times. In the various versions that came out, I got the original game. I then got the DLC that came out afterwards, the El Infernio DLC, which had like challenge rooms and a whole new area to play with, which was really, really good. I then got the Super Turbo Championship Edition, which kind of mushed the DLC into it and move things around a little bit as well, which was kind of cool. So it's like almost like a slightly remixed version of the game, but still kind of felt like the same game, which was amazing. And then you know, again, these were kind of coming out sort of every sort of 6 months to a year, so I had plenty of time to play and, you know, love the game. So Guacamelee 2 fucking drops, and I'm thinking, I'm Johnny Big Bollocks today. I'm Captain Johnny Big Bollocks, because I love Guacamelee, and I platinumed it and everything, and I've beaten it, and I feel really good about it. So I'm starting on hard.
You did, and
you have to put in a cheat code to do that.
What?
You have to do a cheat code to enable hard mode from the offset, because usually it only unlocks when you beat it. But if you do the Konami code, so if you go up, up, down, down, left, right, okay. I think square, triangle, touchpad, which isn't quite the same. Did
they make this kind of well known beforehand, or?
It was the knowledge without that, and it was the same cheat that worked in the first game as well. So it was out there, and I saw Jason Kanem, who was the level designer, one of the main designers of Guacamelee 1, who doesn't work on it anymore. He's doing his other stuff. He just put out Way of the Passive Fist, that side-scrolling Streets of Rage thing where it's all about parries. But he put in that he was doing it as well, and he put in the Konami code, and then, you know, how he did it to make it work. I was like, well, fucking yeah, I'm doing that. I'm getting right on that shit.
So has he played it on hard as well?
Yeah, I think his first run was on hard. Yeah, this was a few days ahead. Jason Kanem.
So you could almost say Kanem rinsed.
Oh!
Moving on.
I'm leaving. I'm going to another podcast. I'm off. Gary and Cole, do you need me?
Yeah, you can join Jeremy. You can fit in one of the 63 he does every week.
I'm Jeremy Greer. Welcome to my new podcast, People Who Have Left Other Podcasts. Why did you leave? He's a dick.
Recorded this one 5 years ago. Soon I'm going to be recording again. If I haven't gotten back to you, I will soon. I promise.
We shouldn't be nasty, because Jeremy's doing something really nice that I'm not allowed to talk about yet, but he's been really, really nice to me. So I'm going to be nice to Jeremy and say we're sorry about that.
He'd be like,
please send me the thing you were going to send me. Don't now not send it.
They mention me. Thanks, Twin Humanities. And then he'd be like, curse you, Twin Humanities. I'm going to go and listen to that song about the fat boy that dresses up like a bee who's got a monster truck.
Oh, God. Oh, I have listened to that once. It's terrible.
It's terrible.
It's awful.
I think he genuinely likes it.
I know. It's nothing you can do for him. Guacamelee 2!
Distractions!
We're really good at this tonight.
Yeah.
So I started on hard. And the very first 5 minutes of the game is the last 5 minutes of the last game.
That's neat.
So the tutorial is the final boss of Guacamelee 1. And it even does like oh no, it's time to go beat Kalaka, who was the bad guy of the last one, like a skeleton mariachi guy who turns into Satan, pretty much. He's like, oh, you must beat him. Even in your prime, this will be tough. You're like, oh, I see, because you've got all your powers, you've got maxed out health and stamina stuff. You know, it's an easy fight. Like it's toned massively down as well. So it's running.
The start of 2 is turned down massively.
The start
from
of
the end
the start
of 1.
Yeah. So compared to the final
it.
boss fight, it's more of a tutorial boss fight. You know, like it's the kind of God of War thing where you fight something massive, but it's actually quite easy. It's just like a tutorial almost. So you run around, you sort of get used to the controls a bit, and bang, 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 and you kind of a short version of the ending plays out, and everything's good, and hurrah, and finish, brilliant. It's funny, you know. Again, it's quick. It sort of references the fact that, you know, oh, you're in your prime. This will be hard, but you are tough. Cut 7 years forward to Juan sitting there, no mask, you know, just a regular bloke. He's got a bit fat, sitting in his basement next to a telly. You know, he's let himself go. He's lazy. He's tired. He's had some kids now with the woman that he saved, Lupita. He's had kids, and the first few minutes of the game is we need to sort dinner out for the children. So you run around and you call the kids out, and you run out of avocados. You know, because apparently he's a millennial.
Yeah.
And you have to go get some avocados. So you have to go to the town nearby and talk to everybody and say hello. And they go, oh, Juan, how are you doing? You know, oh, you're looking good, when you're still obviously a fat boy. You see a woman with a tray of avocados on her head, but she won't say you any because they're actually fakes. They're not real. They're models of avocados.
Okay.
Which made me laugh quite a bit.
Yeah.
And like, no joke, in the first 2 hours, I barely laughed like every couple of minutes.
That's a good thing when a game lets you do that. Adventure Pals, like I was chuckling like a motherfucker at that.
So if you're playing Guac, talk to everyone you can at every point, and talk to them a couple of times just in case, because there is some gold hidden in there. And not long after that happens, oh no, a new bad guy. Stuff's happening. What's going on? Some shitty black rifts have appeared all over the world. What's happening now?
Oh no, stroke, hooray!
Yeah, so a portal appears, and Uechivo, who's the goat man who, like, you know, helped you in the first game, comes out, sort of pops back into a human form, says the world is going to hell, he needs your help in the darkest timeline. Also asks how your mother is, because the entire first game he's trying to hit on your mum. You know, your attractive mother. He's always going on about it. It's like, dude, stop, please stop talking about my mum. So we go through a portal, and we end up going through a couple of different worlds. There's the I won't spoil them all, but there's one which is the baddest timeline, and it's got like Double Dragon posters on the wall and Streets of Rage posters, and you meet a guy, and then the screen, it kind of cuts into the guy in the bottom right corner, and the screen goes green, and then in typewriter, are you a bad enough hombre to rescue the El Presidente? Which was very, very good. There was a couple of these as well, like before you find the right timeline. So you hit the darkest timeline. It's like, oh no, there's a guy called Salvador, another wrestler, and he's gone dark, and he wants to access El Otromundo, the magical realm where all time is meaningless, and develop ultimate power, and the worlds are falling apart because of it. That's why all the black sheep's everywhere. You have to save us, Juan. Wait, you're Juan. You're the you're the one who survived in every timeline. You're the one who
You're
win.
the Juan.
You're the Juan. You're the only Juan. You are the Juan, like the Matrix. Because you're the only one who's still alive. All the other ones got beaten in their own timelines and dead. You can actually find your own your own grave in this timeline at one point. Like, oh, there's me. Oh shit. Which is fun. I enjoyed that. And yeah, it's like you have to save all the multiverse now. Off you go, enjoy it. So what it means basically is that instead of the jokes being, hey look, meme, the jokes are now video games.
Oh, okay.
There's a Street Fighter area.
Uh-huh.
Where you go through and the guy's like, hey look, I just bought this new car. Look at my new car I just bought. Isn't this pretty? And the camera cuts in to Head and Shoulders of Juan. It's just like, which it was a lot of fun. And there's a few other video games. There is a peach of a Dark Souls reference in there.
Sweet.
An absolute peach. And I won't spoil it, but I was weeping. It was really, really funny. So the game takes much of the structure of the old ones. You run around the levels, you acquire powers, you can use those powers on special coloured blocks in the environment. So like you've got the red power, which is uppercut, which is you can fire it off, shoot upwards and knock enemies into the air, but you can also break red blocks from underneath with it. So you can punch up into stuff. So it unlocks different shortcuts and ways through. And then the next one you get is the dash punch, which is forwards and is blue. So any blue box you can punch from the side. You can knock enemies to the side with it, and you can use it in the air for platforming things. So every single power, everything you get helps in combat, and it helps in the platforming. Like, there's no useless abilities in there. Like you're using everything all the time. And as you start accruing powers, things get a bit more complex. You know, you're doing gymnastics on the controller to get through some of the platforming sections. Some of the hardest stuff near the end, you're literally pressing every single button on the controller at some point during a platforming section. You are all over the place. Like the dexterity you need to do some of this shit is ridiculous, but in a good way.
And you're playing it on hard.
I played it on hard. And I say playing it on hard, I have now beaten it and platinumed it on hard.
And so what are you doing now?
I'm doing playing it on medium fun run. And I'm atomizing it. I am taking the game to pieces. I don't think I've died yet to a combat fight. I've jumped into spikes a couple of times because that's still exactly as hard as it would be regardless. But yeah, as far as combat goes, I think I've maybe died probably once, I think. And that was me getting overextended. Me like, I can do this without healing and stopping. And oh, fuck, no, I can't. But yeah, it's a joy. The game is just fucking fun. Like, it's funny. The middle boss fight, a boss called O-T-H, who's like a dog skeleton woman. Yeah. I almost gave up my hard run on that boss. It was that, like, to the wire, and white knuckles. It took me 2 nights to do it. I spent probably an hour on it one night. I went, nope, can't do this now. I need to sleep. I need to go. I need to calm down. And the next day, I think I smashed it in like 2 goes, and it was proper. It was real. And then later on, one of the challenge fights you do is pretty much there's a challenge fight in the first one, which is like, okay, this is pretty rough, but I can beat this guy. And this was like, hey, cool, because of multiverses, there's 3 of us now. Get fucked. Like, oh no, and more just turn up as you're fighting. Like, please no, I can only barely keep one of you intact, and now there's 2 of you. Something else is good. Is the chicken has been improved. Patch notes: chicken can now float. Chicken can do like a cool air dash thing. Chicken can do a slide on the floor. The chicken is now a really big part of the game, and part of getting the true ending is unlocking the chicken shit. And it's not kind of like you can use the chicken whenever you want. You can literally press button L1 and you turn into a chicken. You press L1 again, you come back. And you have a full suite of combat powers. You can do all your regular combos. You can do special moves that you can't do when you're Juan. You can do grapples. You can throw dudes into stuff. There's special chicken-specific puzzle areas which are ridiculous. Like, difficult, involving floating on floaty fans and trying to avoid spikes and kind of dashing up through gaps when there's space and trying not to just to eat it at any opportunity. But they've really expanded it, and I thought it would be like, you know when something's trying to be funny and it isn't because it's trying too hard?
Yeah.
I was worried that the chicken stuff would do that, and it doesn't.
Cool.
There's just jokes about, like, yeah, you find the chicken Illuminati at one point in the middle of a prison, and they do this big long speech, like, yes, you must come and we must save your destiny as the saviour chicken. And as he's leaving, it stops, turns around. Bathroom is on the left. And then carries on. I was like, fair enough, you got me. And the chicken's final power that unlocks, I was weeping with laughter. It was so well played, I couldn't believe what the game had just made me go through for it. I'm not going to talk. I'm going to spoil it if I do.
Yeah, don't do that. Entice people.
Wouldn't dream of it. But let me just say, it's funny. And like, it would be enough if it was funny, but the game just plays so good. Like, it's smooth. Everything you do, you're rolling, you're jumping, you're cancelling special moves into other special moves, and like, naturally, it doesn't feel like you're doing any particular, like, really difficult gymnastics to pull it off. Like, you're not doing like Devil May Cry shit to do stuff. But it all flows together. I wouldn't even call it, I mean, a lot of people say it's a Metroidvania. I don't really think it is. It feels more like just a standard platformer, but there's stuff you can go back and find. Like, I don't feel like you need to go back to old areas, think, oh, well, I can use this power on here now, because the power, like, the areas you can do are all pretty obvious. You've got, you know, the red blocks, the yellow blocks, the green blocks. You know what your powers are going to do, and it highlights those on your map as well. So you don't ever need to kind of think, oh, fuck, where do I go now? Like, I had this problem in Symphony of the Night. I was running around, like, I've got Bat now. What do I do with Bat? Where does Bat go? What do I plug Bat into? Oh, I've got Mist as well. What the fuck do I do Mist on? Like, rubbing on everything. Like, what do I do? But Guac doesn't have that. You know, it's got very obvious areas of the map that are kind of shaded, so you know you haven't been there. It's kind of got that fog of war effect, so you unlock the map as you go around. And it's really good for going around. Then you've got a little percentage meter in the top, so you know what you've missed. And on seeing that I was doing quite well, I thought, do you know what? I'm going to fucking platinum this on my first go. I don't care. Like, these challenge missions are tough, but I feel like if I do it here, I will deserve it.
Have you done it?
I've done it.
Wow.
I've destroyed it. I platinumed it in one run.
Did you platinum that quicker than that Hannah Montana game?
Yeah. No. The Hannah Montana game was 6 hours.
Oh, okay.
That was the game where I realised I had a trophy problem.
Fans.
Yeah, that was the game I realised I had a trophy problem. That was my walking in on yourself, what the fuck are you doing moment. But no, Guac Platinum, right? So I don't think I've platinumed a game for like a year. I rarely platinum. I rarely bother now. I don't care anymore. But I thought, you know what, this one's special. I'm doing it for this one because nothing on that list is unachievable. And it's stuff I would have done anyway. And the only things I think I had to look up extra were how to do a couple of like the... use the grapple power 10 times without hitting the floor. Like, just like, where do I do that? You know, because there was some, like, it wasn't particularly obvious where I needed to go to do some stuff. But even then, I unlocked most of it just naturally. I only had to look a couple of things up. I don't think it's a Metroidvania. Everyone says that it is, but I really don't think that it actually is. It's just just a really good platformer with lots of hidden stuff you can go back and get. I saw a good thing on Twitter about Metroidvanias the other day, just diverting slightly, about how this kind of name for this mast-sweeping, series of, and style of game comes from one game about exploring a huge alien planet and one game about exploring Dracula's really big house. Which did make me chuckle. I did enjoy that. The stuff you can unlock as well. The skills are now different. You unlock gold at a ridiculous rate now. But there's now probably close to 30 different skills to unlock over the course of the game. Some of them are just improvements to your abilities, like you make your punches better, or you can make your grapples better, or you get better hit streaks. Or one of my favourite ones, early ones, is if you... there's one where you get gold bonuses for doing 25, 50, 75 and 100 hit combos. And if you pair that with the one underneath it, which is you can take 3 hits and your combo will still be okay. Like your third hit is when the combo breaks. So I've been getting like 200, 300 hit combos, which was unheard of in the last game. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Like usually you top out about 50, 60, like, fucked it up. But I was atomizing it. And again, to do it on hard, you're like, yeah, this feels good. And the combo meter's on fire. And you're like, yes, I'm on fire. So yeah, I don't have a great deal more to say because I'm worried I'm going to spoil it. But know that I got it on Tuesday. I got it on Tuesday. I'd platinumed it by Friday. I'm midway through another run now, and I'm contemplating what I'm going to do with it next because I am not finished with it, not even close. I might go play Guac 1 again, then play this again because I love them. They're just perfect. They feel just right in my hands. Like, I know a lot of people have been really enjoying Hollow Knight, and I'm sure they're really liking it. And I'm sure
Dead Cells is getting an equal amount of love.
Yeah, but for me, like my platform game this summer is Guac 2, no question, because like it's exactly what I want it to be. It plays good, it's smooth, and it's fucking funny. It's really, really funny all the time. Like, everyone you can speak to has jokes. Every character you meet is funny. Like, there's no one like, oh, this shit again. There's some really, really, really good jokes about, like, loot boxes. Which I will not spoil, but they were very good. It's just, there's so many ideas. Again, it throws ideas out. Like, it's like, here's a new mechanic. Enjoy this new mechanic. Won't use it again for 5 hours. Like, they get the most out of every idea they've got without pushing it. Like... Sure, the last few challenge rooms are a bit silly, but it's nothing you can't do if you're paying attention. Nothing gets kind of like... like Mario Maker levels of dumb, where you're hitting like precision jumps and you're tricking the AI to get stuff to work. It's not like that. It's a very fair difficulty. And yeah, when you nail stuff, you're like, yeah, I did it. I didn't trick the game into like glitching through it. I did it because I'm rad. And that's what the game does. It makes you feel rad. Plus, halfway through the game, I unlocked the Diablo suit, which is just a lovely business suit with devil horns from the last game. It was great. Oh, do excuse me. That's the alarm on my phone going off, which tells me to upload a One Bro video. But I'm not going to do that because it's going to fuck up our recording.
Yes. Thank goodness that wasn't loud.
That was the shut up talking about Guacamelee alarm. So yeah, Guacamelee 2. Like, seriously, if you've not played Guacamelee 1, you fucked it. So go get that and play that. And then when you've done that...
I think it was on Plus ages ago.
It
so a lot
was,
of people
yes.
might have it in their collections and not realise that they've got it. Plus, I think on Xbox, it's on Game Pass as well.
And we might have listeners now that didn't listen to us in 2013. So let me just tell you now, hey, my 2013 Game of the Year over The Last of Us was Guacamelee.
Speak directly to that person.
Listen,
Thank you,
listener. You dick. Get on
hey,
that.
What?
Well, they haven't played it. They fucked up their life.
God, they've gone.
We've lost them.
Oh, never mind.
Sorry, Mum. So yeah, that was my thing. My first thing anyway. Guacamelee 2. I've talked really long about it, but I think it deserves it because it's fucking brilliant. It's fucking brilliant.
Minutes.
Game of the Year is going to be hard this year.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's going to be hard this year.
It's going to be this one, isn't it?
I'm looking at my list and it's I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I've kind of had a few ponderosas on this. Interesting.
Ellens. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing for the last week. What about you? What have you been up to, Brav?
I'm gonna boosh into television.
Television?
So I'm going to go back to Kamen Rider Build. Picture the scene. Last week, episode 48, one episode from the close of Kamen Rider Build, and barring a massive misstep towards the end, view that it's been a masterpiece. Like right up until the last, the show had like crazy momentum. Was still doing like pretty bonkers and cool stuff. Build revealed the final genius form of his costumes. This incredible display of bombast and its transformation, where it seemingly formed a sort of little city around him that was crossed between like a bottle plant and a roller coaster, and then and then loads and loads of bottles because he transforms with different powers of different bottles.
Oh, they're in the bottle, aren't they? Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
loads of them like plug into the suit, and it's just like a mental looking thing. It's like crisp white, and then it's got all the different colours of these bottles kind of plugged in, and it's supremely cool. And I instantly thought like, oh, it's gonna look really good at night. But every sequence has been in the day, and it still looks good. So I was like, well played. Episode 41 explained the best match mechanic. So the combination of abilities with from which Build gets his powers. Like it starts off with Rabbit Tank, and then there's Hawk Gatling, Gorilla Diamond, and something that Ninja Comic was another favourite one as well.
Hell.
But you know, we've been through this before. That they're all like pretty bonkers, but it's pretty original in the way that you get the combinations of the powers and stuff. And it was something that I presumed was a random set of kind of abilities, just something daft that they thought up to make it unique. No, the explanation was brilliant. I sobbed my heart out when they explained it. It's probably my favourite thing of the entire series because it took me massively off guard. Didn't see it coming at all. And yeah, it's fantastic.
Okay.
So the story itself continued to play around with tone. I mentioned before there was a flashback where one of the characters put on a VR headset and they were watching things that had happened in the TV series, and kind of they went, "Hold on, who took this footage?"
Yeah.
And then a bit further down the line, there was an episode which started with a little bit of a catch up on what had happened in the series, but the camera was on the floor. All the characters were laying on their fronts in front of the camera, and they got those posable wooden artist dolls, but they were all dressed up like the lead characters.
Okay.
And they were all running through like a little mini play with these wooden dolls as to what had happened and stuff. And they're all like, you know, dressed in sort of like little cardboard sort of tops and all the right clothes and stuff with kind of like a photograph of their face on the top. And again, like really original and really kind of neat. Episode 40 in a flashback kind of had the moment where all the characters turned to face a chalkboard on the other side of the room, which suddenly became a screen as they and us watched recent events. And when it cut back to the cast, like Sento, the lead character, had 3D glasses on and a movie container of soda. All the cast had popcorn. And there's a great moment during that flashback where Banjo Ryoga says, "That's our protagonist," referring to Sento, to then be warned about being too meta. I've mentioned it before, but versus Western superhero stuff, for me, it's absolute night and day between the risks that Japan is willing to take in storytelling and presentation with that stuff. The way it's broken the fourth wall, the sheer ambition of the thing, the utterly memorable speeches and moments which echo classic Marvel and DC comics. The sheer amount that I've cheered for these people, I've cried alongside them. Instances where the hero's backs are up against the wall, they're hurt, genuinely hurt, and somebody gets up. They believe in their friends. They vow to press on. They keep fighting. It's joyous. It's infectious. And at times like these, it just seems like such a tonic from the world. The way the show has dealt with loss brings back memories of Gurren Lagann. And by that I mean
don't do that to me.
By that I mean to underline it with my highest regard, because Gurren Lagann for me dealt with somebody dealing with their actions and pining for someone, and just it was magnificent, and the show nails that in a way I haven't seen a TV show do since Gurren Lagann. And as the show reached sort of endgame, the villain, Evolt, basically set the heroes a challenge with a "come get me" Bob prefacing it. Cue the morning of the battle. Evolt pulls a news helicopter down from the sky towards the crowd that's amassed. Evolt emerges, spits "run," and you see all the people scatter except for 4 people walking in the opposite direction. Sento, Kamen Rider Build, Banjo, Kamen Rider Cross Z, Kazumin, Kamen Rider Grease, and Jen, Kamen Rider Mad Rogue. And I was like, oh my god! You just see all the people moving, and then our boys just coming slowly through the crowd. And as they climb Skywall Tower, which is basically like a Tower of Babel reaching into the sky, there are roadblocks that are placed along the way to stop them, with an addendum from Evolt that for every 10 minutes that pass, Evolt will destroy a part of the world and grow stronger each time. So literally, he's ripping up a part of Japan and pulling it into a black hole and becoming stronger. To prove his point, he then pulls the moon apart in a black hole above the Earth and kind of grows more powerful again. And it's going through all of this, and I at this point I still had absolutely no idea how they were going to take down Evolt, make him stay down. We lost 2 cast members during that sort of climb through the Skywall Tower, with one death in particular making me cry like an absolute loon. So then it got to the final episode, lots of trepidation after loving the series as much as I had. And it was superb. The final battle with Evolt, the plan to stopping, the feeling that things could go wrong at any second, just went throughout the entire episode. But Triumph was brilliant. And there came another moment where I started sobbing, which I saw somebody had drawn an illustration of the other day, and I started crying again. The aftermath of the story ending was fantastic, still springing surprises and leaving things open for new, very different adventures sort of in the future. I mean, I was really down on Sunday, and that veered sort of wildly into my Monday morning when my friend Pete came over and we watched the final bunch of episodes, and the show put popping candy in my heart. It got the cry out of me. It just left me punching the air, sort of, and equalised the ills of the world with that pure joy and inspiration and hope. I mean,
I'm really glad to hear that.
I mean, 49 episodes, all written by the same guy. Let me add, no filler, just the perfect series, the best I've ever seen superheroes. And with me saying it does classic Marvel and DC comics better than Western stuff. There was a bit in the run up to the Skywall Tower where we lost the character, and we saw him in the foreground, kind of falling and like sort of reaching out seemingly to the other side for like his father and stuff, and yet his shadow on the wall was his superhero costume.
Ooh,
I like stuff like that. There was a bit earlier on in the series where there was sort of a big battle, and you expected, you know, them to show off all the powers and all that sort of stuff, and it just cut to the two actors talking, and you knew this battle was going on, but it was just them in the room, like, talking, and it was like, oh my god, this is really good. And when it sort of burst out of that room and it went on to into the outside, the fight was continuing, but they got a projector on the steps nearby, and they were projecting loads of sort of previous moments and like leads up to this fight on the ground as they fought.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like, that's really neat. And I mean, the design of the character is very sort of Steve Ditko sort of Spider-Man look to it. And let me tell you, in the final episode, there was a bit towards the end where it could only be a homage to Jack Kirby. It could only be. With, you know, like that classic Jack Kirby thing where the hand comes out the panel. The hand's coming towards you. It does that, and I'm like, oh. And it just seems to distill like 60s, 70s, 80s comics to such a degree. And the way that it can laugh at itself, it can step out of itself, it can be quite meta, and yet it can still like completely have me invested with the momentum of the story. And just because you know, there are bits that kind of make me sad and make me sort of blue and make me really want the heroes to succeed, it doesn't forget to laugh at itself, and it doesn't forget to, you know, do something a little bit silly or a little bit quirky. And, you know, even like those 70s comics where it was clear that the people in charge were like on acid trips, it seems to have a tip of the hat to those as well. But it just meant that because I got such a rounded feeling about the characters, and all the characters have got an arc. It's not just lead character and people that just support that main arc. Everybody's got an arc. But it just meant that when it did come to the crunch, I loved them so much that I cried with them, I cried for them. And at points where just hope seemed completely lost, one of them would get up, or one of them would turn up and remind you know, a hero of something that they said, or the person that they are, or why that they're fighting. And it just meant the world. But man, what a series. And, you know, Kamen Rider Zero starts next weekend, so
oh god.
So yeah, they're straight into the new series. But
that's good that you've got no gap, because the gap between series on anime particularly is utterly destroying me.
Well, I think that the thing is as well that there's been no filler throughout this, and it's veered away from kind of Kamen Rider formula really well. But the point where it got to like episode 12 and it suddenly became V, and you're like, oh my god!
Ooh.
And the world building's fantastic. They're constantly punching above their weight, and you just think that they're doing this on such a tiny budget. And then you look over at Marvel Television and, you know, the Netflix stuff, and you see how dull and unambitious that stuff is. It's like, no, give me bright costumes, give me all of this,
give me colour.
But it's been a joy.
When you say there's no filler, I have a question to ask on this respect. Now, no filler's cool. I like that. You know, everything there has a point. It's all there for a reason. You know, this kind of stuff. But okay, me and Laura have a particular favourite thing, particularly watching an anime, and we cheer every time we see one of these, because, like, yes, brilliant, is what we call a nothing episode.
Okay.
When there are no stakes, there's nothing going on, it's just like a side story, something silly, you learn a bit about the characters, there's no real danger, but it's called like a nothing episode. Like, so we're watching My Hero Academia at the moment, which is kind of what you're getting out of Kamen Rider Build. We're getting out of that, you know, it's that kind of really good superhero stuff that we're really enjoying. It's kind of more X-Men than anything, I think, at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's joyous, and I love all the characters, and when bad things happen to them, I get genuinely upset. And there are best boys and best girls. The best one is the frog.
Of course,
even. Best girl is the frog. Don't even fight me. But, like, the recent episode was a nothing episode. Where it's like, right, it's between school times, we're going on a special training session to deal with a hostage situation. You 6 have decided to come along. And it was like the main kind of, the main 5 heroes and the frog girl, which I was very happy about because she's the best one. And says, right, there's a hostage in there, hostage situation going on. It's a setup, and it was like the main hero, All Might, the big, Superman-looking guy, was the guy who was the hostage taker, and the other 3 teachers were wrapped up inside as well, pretending to be hostages. Says, right, go work out what's happened. Oh, we'll call the police. Not allowed to. Go see what's happened and work it out. And that's kind of go and unravel the mystery. In the grand scheme of things, literally a nothing episode. Absolutely nothing of consequence happened to anyone. Nobody got away. It was just them play acting, including some really, really hammy, over-the-top acting from all the teachers, which was really, really funny. Them trying to work out who's doing what. Like, wait, you knew him already? Wait, the plot thickens. You were in the bank when he came in. What's that about? But it set up the movie a little bit. So it wasn't really a true nothing episode, but it set up the movie that's coming out about his friend. So All Might, Toshinori, his friend from America called Dave.
Good name.
And you've got this Japanese kind of like, Dave. And just hearing the word Dave in the middle of a load of Japanese is very, very funny. And every time it happened, me and Laura laughed, and we felt a bit bad about ourselves. But it was a nothing episode. So, like, are there any of those?
It's not done that. There's been not done that in the same way as you're saying that there's that kind of. I know what you mean. It's like the kind of
low stakes day off. We're going to the park, but we're learning something.
Yeah, it's like the old X-Men comics where they'd have like a kind of beach episode or a beat. It's not done that. There's been moments of the cast where there's been like jokey moments or like silly stuff sort of sewn into it, but there will still be momentum in the episode. Although I really love the fact that when Evolt set this challenge for to come and get him at the top of like Skywall Tower and in the final thing, and that it would start this time tomorrow morning for them to turn on. The night before they had a barbecue. It was like the world was potentially ending. But they realised sort of what they meant to one another, and they had a barbecue, and there was silly stuff that went on, and it was just again it sort of took that moment before the end of the world, and it made me realise how much I love these characters, and that's neat. But it's all momentum, and Jesus Christ, and like I say, the guy that wrote 49 episodes and 2 movies.
Jeez. Jeez.
My boy.
Hard working.
Yeah. So, and it's not, I mean, I think the cast works super hard on this, but it just felt like even the special effects team, it's the best effects that I've seen in a Kamen Rider show. Because if you go back and watch some of the older shows, it can be a wee bit PS3 at times. But the special effects are fantastic in this, almost across the board.
Nice.
So, happy lad.
Cool.
But these, there's that feeling where you watch something and it's like, it's family. And I'm genuinely going to miss all of them. And they've announced that there's going to be a film spin-off coming in 2019, which makes me super happy. Like not a build spin-off entirely, but it's something that sort of a surprise that sort of leaps out of the way that they've done the end. And yeah, I don't know, hearts all over the show. It's just been a glory.
That's really cool. I'm glad you enjoy it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What else you got, bro?
I want to talk about my helmet.
Excuse me.
Soixante. Neuf. Yeah, I was going to lead in with some sort of long-winded thing, but nah. I bought a VR helmet, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
When E3 was on, they were like, oh, the VR helmets are cheap. It's 200 quid. Gets you a VR helmet and 3 games right now.
It's been that long since we've since we've done a proper nerd one.
It legit has. Yeah, it's been ages. We've both been busy, haven't we? We've got busy lives. You know, difficult to podcast sometimes. That's why we don't do any sort of formal structure of like once a week, because we'd never hit it. We'd never hit it. No chance in hell. You know, content comes when it comes, everyone.
If you've written to us asking to be on the show, I'm going to be getting in touch real soon now.
See you in 3 months.
Yeah.
So I had to jump on the deal. I'd wanted one for a while. Don't need one, you know, don't need one at all. But I kind of fancied one because I like buying that weird stuff they make. Like I bought a Wonder Book. I have Move controllers already. I bought all the iToys. You know, I love that shit. Like I never have a lot to play with it, but I always enjoy buying that stuff and like enjoying what they do with it. You know, I particularly the Move controllers. You know, I bought those on the PS3 to play Resident Evil 5 with, of all things.
Yeah,
and it was really good. Actually, it worked. Me and Laura played through the entire game again with the Move controllers, and they were really good. I maintain that Resi 5 is one of the better ones. Come fucking get me, everyone. But yeah, I decided, fuck it, I'm going to get it. I actually sold a bunch of stuff to pay for it over eBay, and I said to Laura, no, I'm going to buy it, and I'm not going to open it until I've sold all the stuff. Because that is fair, I thought. Until I've made the money required, I won't open it. And I got to about 150 quid of the 200, and she's like, yeah, go on then, you can have it now. You've made a good effort. So yeah, yay, opened it up. And yeah, bloody hell. Like, for the money I've paid, I have had a very, very good VR experience so far.
Hey, Pad, what you playing?
Well, I got games I got with it. Okay, there's one I've not played yet, which is Resident Evil 7, because I've done too much of a coward baby. I will be playing it soon, but you know, I'm working my way up to it.
Have you not dived into that yet? I didn't realise.
I haven't. I've been meaning to, but it's kind of I want to play it when Laura's there.
That's going to be poop-tastic, mate.
Well, the thing is with that, I really want to play that when Laura's there as well, because I think that would be quite funny. I think she'd enjoy watching me panic and stuff. But again, she's had tons of work on at the moment. You know, we've both been knackered, and the evenings are filled up with other stuff, so we just don't. It sounds bad, but we don't hang out in the front room doing fuck all as much as we used to. Like we're doing stuff these days. It's fine. And we're in the front room together. We're
adulting.
Yeah, we're adulting, and we'll be recording a One Bro or something. You know, we'll be doing stuff. So that's why I've kept that to one side.
Good plug.
See what I did. Yeah, if I didn't already mention it once earlier with the alarm.
Here it is.
Da, 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 da. Episode 27 going up later. So I also got Wipeout with it, the Omega Collection. Let me tell you, Wipeout in VR is pretty fucking good. Oh, it's pretty fucking good. You're sat in the cockpit the whole time. It's got driver assists on at first, so you can turn them off later if you want. And I've tried it with driver assists off, and oh my god, it's hard. I always found Wipeout difficult. I was never that good at it, but I always enjoyed playing it for a bit. Like, you know, I'm gonna go around the loop-de-loop with my space car. Woo! Now I'm actually in the space car, and it is not as barfy as you would imagine.
Okay.
Not even close. I actually found that I could look around in the cab. I could look down at the body of my character, who was kind of there. They kind of put the chest and the legs in, so you can kind of see yourself. When you start, like the big open canopy, it sort of seals off around the edges, so you've kind of got like a front view screen to go forwards, so you're not getting distracted by what's going past, because that can be a thing that causes motion blur apparently, and you know, motion sickness. Sorry, not motion blur, motion sickness. And if you want, there's a button to turn that off, so you can have that full open canopy world whizzing by you if you want. I really liked it. I've played a little bit, and I played a bit of the zone mode as well, which is when you go around like a sort of Tron-looking version of the level, getting faster and faster and faster and faster, and you see how long you can last. And as you go around, every time you kind of reach a new like speed thing, it's like Phantom, Sub-Flash, Flash. Like once every couple of minutes, like yes, I'm in Venom. Yes, it's good. It's good. I haven't played that much again because I've been a bit more kind of like a Star Mix bag with my VR games. I've been kind of taking a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. Oh, I'll have a fried egg. Oh, yum. Oh, I've got a jelly baby now. Oh, lovely. Cola bottle. Tasty. I'll have a little bit. So I've not had that big, meaty chunk into anything particularly yet. But, you know, I think I've been spreading my fun around. All credit, by the way, to Sony for putting up, like, you can download, like, 50 fucking demos for that thing. There is a lot of stuff on the store. They've actually got
Is there anything in particular that surprised you?
Yeah. In terms of surprises, probably the one that stood out the most out of all the demos I've tried, which made me, laugh, and I've played a couple of times, is a game called Dino Frontier. And it's absolutely not the kind of game that I would pick out as like, oh, that's going to be good in VR. Like, you'd think like a first-person game where you could have a sword in your hand or a gun, like that would be the best one. No. Dino Frontier has been the one that's made me go, huh, while I've been playing it. So in Dino Frontier, it's like almost an RTS type game. You're looking down at a guy. It starts off with you looking down on an area. You can move your head around and look around and get in close. And your move controllers in your hands are actually two cowboy gloves. And if you squeeze the things, they kind of grip. So it's quite funny. It's quite cute. And it's like, the wagon's broken, but if you smash the wagon, you can get some wood, and you can salvage that into something better. So you pick up the person, you put them next to the wagon, and they start breaking it down. It's like, cool, you've done it. Now build yourself a tavern for people to live in. Like, okay, cool. So you reach up and grab your blueprint menu from the top, and you literally grab it with your hand and bring it into screen. With your other hand, pick the thing you want to build, drop it down in the world, pick up a comedy hammer on top of it, and bang it until it comes to life. And you're just sitting there whacking your hand against it, going bang, 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 and I've got a tavern, and you throw that away, and you throw the hammer behind you, it doesn't matter. And as you play, like, it opens up a bit. So it's like, oh, now cool, get some food, get some more wood. And then it pans out again, and you've got this entire kind of, like, open valley type area to play with. And there's dinosaurs walking around, you've got bandits, and more people start turning up, so you can assign different people different jobs. And you're basically picking people up and throwing them around. You're picking up the resources they smash and bringing them back over to the town and dropping them in the hole. You're refining the resource into better. It's only a demo, it's a 15-minute demo, and you've got to really squeeze it in quick if you want to capture a dinosaur. The actual act of capturing a dinosaur is quite funny. You've got to put a bait down and kind of make it smell fun, and the dinosaur comes to fight it, and you've then got to go take all your dudes over there and beat the dinosaur up and throw a net on top of it at the end so you've catched it. I did want to get to riding a dinosaur, but in the 15 minutes you don't really get a lot of time. But the scale's amazing. You use both the move controllers to kind of reach in, and you can twist, and you can grab and zoom and pull. If you sort of reach in with one hand and grab, it will kind of just move the world around beneath you, so you can kind of drag yourself along. If you're reaching with two hands and grab, it's all scaling and twisting, so you can kind of zoom out, pull it towards you and zoom back in again. Like, you're not kind of going endlessly grabbing forwards and back. It just played really fun. I don't know how much enjoyment I get out of the whole game. Like, I think with those kind of games, there is a limit where I kind of get to a point where I can't do it anymore. But in terms of presentation, in terms of the way they put it together, like, it was unusual and amusing. And Laura was watching me play it the second time, and she was sort of saying, oh, do that, no, put that there, no, put that up, no, try that, go on, use the hammer, bang, 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 throw the hammer away. To get plants working again, if you want to have trees and food bushes grow, there's a giant watering can you can pick up and just kind of like water everything. And then again, you just throw it away when you finish, you just fling it behind yourself and it appears again in the shop later. Just a legit fun thing to play. Like, of all the demos I've tried, that's probably the one that stood out the most as one I wasn't expecting to be good.
Yeah.
There's one called the Fabulous Contraption, I think, which is you have a ball and you have a goal, and your job is to make a little car, attach the ball to the car, and get it to drive the ball into the goal. So you're picking out wheels and sticks, and you're kind of building these little contraptions almost out of like logs and sellotape, basically. The next one, the goal zone is quite high, so you've got to build a high truck that won't fall over. The next one after that, the goal zone is actually hanging off the side of the level, so you've got to build a truck that can drive forwards but hang off the side, so you can sort of wave it through. It's really clever in how it sets you up. And again, you get like a 15-minute demo to do as much as you can, and you don't get super far in it, but like it left me wanting to play more, which I quite enjoyed. Tumble VR is quite good. Which is basically stacks and blocks, which was on the PlayStation 3 and the Move controllers initially, and they've sort of re-upped it for this, and they've made almost like a HD VR version of it. And again, that's just pick blocks up, drop them down, try and build a tower that doesn't fall over, and that's surprisingly therapeutic. Like, I'm going to very carefully just lay this down, and click, and like the little click of wooden blocks hitting wooden blocks is very satisfying. Little clop, oh, okay, I've done it. So yeah, I've tried a bunch of other demos as well. Sony have put out 2 like demo compilations. They're like 30 gig each. Like, they're not small, so I've had to kind of have them on my computer every now and again and delete them when I need to. But they've got like each one's got about 10 demos for things like Thumper, which is still just delightful to play. Thumper hates you. Thumper wants you to die. You finish playing Thumper, you've got to have a little breather. You've got to have a fresh air break on your eyes.
I can imagine it's super intense in VR.
Oh, it's when that giant head appears at the end, you're like, that head is bigger than anything I've ever seen. I'm dead. I'm going to die today. What else is on there? A thing called the Persistence, which is like a one that a friend can join in on with like a tablet or a phone, and they can actually activate stuff in the game. It's like a first-person zombie survival thing in space, and they can go in, like turn lights off, or they can stun enemies, they can turn on hack turrets for you, or they can fuck you up and like alert the enemies nearby to where you are. It seems quite fun, but like it doesn't play very smooth. Like it made me feel a bit barfy when I played it. I tried Apex Construct, which was kind of like sort of shit fantasy future. You've got a robot hand, and you also get a bow, and like the main thing you do is you use a bow and arrow, so you're kind of literally pulling the bow and arrow back and sort of firing arrows at stuff, which was very, very fun. It's well put together, like that feels good to play. I liked that one very, very much so. I think over that I got Skyrim.
Okay. That took me back. I didn't think anything would lead you back into the realm of the sky.
Well, it was £15 for the VR version.
There we go.
I'm like, do you know what? That's quite decent price.
And it's something that you've not got for, the sort of game that you'd not tried in VR yet.
No, of course. And I opened it up and I thought, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I always do. Pick like a stealthy, arrowy, daggery rogue. That's what I'm going to do. So I started the game and I was doing it as normal, and a little bit hard to get used to the controls. But once I found them, I was okay.
Is it that kind of jump ahead kind of?
Yeah, I did have it set so you hold down the left trigger on the left move controller, and you walk forwards. It was all right for a bit, but I found walking forwards straight was very difficult because it takes into account the tilt of the controller. So if you're tilting slightly to the left, it will walk forwards and left a bit. And I was constantly kind of like waggling my hand left and right to try and keep going straight, and it just wasn't that great. But when I switched out to jump movement, it's actually a lot better. It felt smoother almost because I could just whip. You're not really needing to move that much when you're playing it. Like the initial difficulty it puts it on is like the easiest one, so you can get used to it. Yeah, you can understand how the game plays. So I picked up a dagger and I was enjoying that, and I found a sword. I thought, well, I might as well try the sword out, and it's there in front of you, like waggling around in front of your face. It's like, this is pretty fun. And then you find a great sword, like a two-handed one, so you pick that up, and it's like, oh Christ, it's taller than I am. It's very, very large. And then you find a double-handed axe, and it's like, this is the largest thing I've ever seen, and I'm using it forever. And you see a bear, and you put your hand forward, and you waggle your hand around, and the bear dies. Like, almost like you've got a blender on the end of your hand, like... And I know it doesn't damage it every single time you flick it, because, that would be stupid, but you do kind of feel like, yes, I stabbed you, bear, I'm better than you. You get out to the open world, and you start picking up thistles, and more flowers, and then fish, and then more flowers. That's fun. Just endlessly picking up shit. Chasing around chicken in VR, that was quite fun. I was like, Laura, come see, look, VR chickens to fight. And she enjoyed that.
Yes, dear.
She likes chasing chickens in games. This is very well documented. And yeah, I haven't done too much. I've played maybe an hour and a half. I found the best way to play it is to stand up as well. Like it feels more natural when you stood up.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, when you sat down, you're trying to lean down and pick something up on the floor, and you're bumping into the sofa. Like nah, it ain't right. Nah, fucked it. Nah. So yeah, I'm quite enjoying it. Like it's going to take me. I don't think I'm ever going to finish the fucking thing, but it's there for me to play with when it's there. And it's worth knowing I don't play an awful lot of VR every week at the minute. I'm playing an hour or two here and there, but I'm not playing tons of it because you do have that kind of setup of I've got to put on the helmet and I've got to get the cables out, and it's honestly not that hard a setup once you've got it ready to go. Like it's just plug in your HDMI lead, plug in your USB lead, put the helmet on, go. It's all ready to go. It's simple. But for what it's worth, it's quite easy. I can be set up in 3 minutes, and I can be in the VR zone very quickly. Worth noting. I do have a family rule. I've had a couple of people around to play with it, and it's been quite funny. My sister came around for 4 hours. We mucked around with all sorts of stuff. It was really fun. The rule is there is no touching in the VR zone. If somebody has the helmet on, you're not allowed to touch them. If you do, you are.
That's pretty crass. What was it before everybody knew that it was Resident Evil 7 when they had
kitchen? That's on there as well. Oh,
but the Capcom staff there was a point where somebody you could hear someone coming up behind you, and the Capcom staff like walked up to the person with the headset on and breathed on the back of their neck.
Fuck.
I would no, just no.
Punching time.
Super no. I'd literally scream the place down.
Yeah. Well, it gets up in your personal space anyway. Like, there's a very important bit in that demo where you can't get away from it, and it's like, oh no, oh god, oh dear, everything is bad, nothing is good, please stop. My sister was very, very... I was amused by her trying that. It made me laugh a lot, watching her panic with hands coming around from behind her head. I go, oh god, it's behind me, oh no. So, yeah, that was good. Tell you what else I've played. I tried the demo for Zone of the Enders.
All right.
VR.
Okay.
It puts you in the cockpit.
And how was it?
You mean a cock? Because in Zone of the Enders, the place the pilot sits is in the groin area.
Yeah, I understand
the penis, the cockpit, as it were. It's very hard to make the jokes because
you really overextended that one.
Whoa! Very good.
I didn't realise what I was doing until it happened.
That was good. You've pulled a boner.
What?
So yeah, like you sit in the cockpit area, and like the jokes write themselves. You know, it's too easy to say that, but here we are. We just spent the last 2 minutes talking about it. So you're sat in there in VR, and you can see like the whole console in front of you with that classic, Zone of the Enders, like Metal Gear 2 style fonts everywhere, like green thin lines and big chunky fonts. Like, this is fucking cool. If you look up, you can see your giant robot. You can see the head. You can see the arms to the left and right of you. You can look around and see the goddamn robot. And as you move around, you can see like a hologram of it, like in the cockpit with you on the right-hand side. So whenever you kind of move or jump or do anything, you can see what the robot's doing, and it helps you work out, I'm not just hitting buttons randomly, like, this is what I'm doing, because it was a third-person game, and without seeing what's doing, like, am I attacking, am I shooting, am I stabbing, I can't tell. You can see what what your frame is doing without having to look around at everything to try and guess. And as you start, as you attack and as you move, the robot moves around you, so it leans forward when you're dashing forward, so the head comes right forward. Let me tell you, oh my god, that was cool. Like, I am a pilot boy. This is incredible. And they've just released a second demo as well. There's another demo of it. The Orange Case demo, I think, which is like a boss fight, maybe. But so I will be playing that.
There's a full version like coming at a certain point then as well.
Yeah. Like they're redoing, not Zoe 1, it's Zoe 2 they're doing, which is the anime one. And I'm here for it. I'm very here for it. Like, just seeing, like, when you do the charge attack and you see the little hologram Jehuti lift up and kind of, like, do the Kamehameha thing, and you look up and above you can see a robot doing the Kamehameha. You're like, oh, fuck. It's so cool. It's way cooler than I think it ever than it should have been. A little bit like, whoa, you're kind of all over the place with it, but having that kind of grounded, you're in a cockpit, it makes you feel a little bit more, like, grounded, I guess.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain, but, like, you don't feel like you're tremendously out there. Do you know what else I've watched as well? Or done, experience in VR? I've watched some 3D 360 videos on YouTube with it.
Okay.
Because there's a 3D version of the YouTube app, and when you've got the VR headset plugged in, you go up YouTube, it's like, do you want to launch the regular version or the 3D version? I'm like, 3D version, please? I've watched some wrestling in 360 degrees.
And how was it?
It was quite fun. Yeah, they put the camera on the ring post, so you can kind of see like a diamond view of the ring, and you can just watch it, and it's just happening right in front of you. Like, this is actually really cool.
That's sweet.
Fair play, YouTube, for putting lots of content out there, and there's tons of it to watch as well. Like nature stuff and sport events and stuff. Like, there's tons and tons of things to watch. They're not. I mean, Sony particularly are not mucking around with VR stuff, and they've just put out, along with this month's other Plus stuff. Here They Lie, which is like a first-person horror game where you kind of run around initially in a subway, and I tried the demo for that as well, and that was fucking terrifying. It was very barfy at one point because the floor started to shift and change while I was walking forward. I was like, I don't like it, everything's moving, I'm going to be sick, oh god. In kind of that, how can I best describe it? You know, like in Soul Reaver when the world kind of goes blurp around you.
I'll have to take your word on that.
Imagine the world just shifts. Like, you're walking down a straight corridor and it decides, actually, the corridor's now going to go downwards and twist on you. Like, oh god, it's moving. Everything hurts. So that was weird, but that's free this month with everything else on Plus. And I have one more game I want to talk about, and then I'll stop talking about VR for a bit, unless you have any questions. One I picked up on a whim because the trailer looked cool, a game called The American Dream.
Okay.
Well, American Dream is a shooting gallery type game, so you're sat in one place shooting your guns all the time. But it takes the sort of show thing of almost a theme park ride, like an educational tour in a little cart through kind of 1950s Americana, but via the medium of guns. Okay. And the idea is in this world that guns are everything. You use them to do everything. Guns are used to help cook. In the opening video, a businessman gets home from work. He has to sign off some documents, so he puts out a checkbook and he writes on it, and rather than sign it, he shoots it where the signature hole is. When the wife is making dinner, she's stirring the cookie dough with a gun, and she picks it up and she licks the end to make sure it's okay. It's really tongue-in-cheek, and it's very funny. So you start off when you're a baby, with your 2 handguns in each hand. To reload, there's a button on the side of the cart. You smack it, it goes slow motion, and you have to kind of smash the gun into the clip in the air.
Okay.
You got to kind of load it with no hand, like bang, clock, bang, clock. Once you've got that down, it feels very satisfying.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So you start as a baby, it's Mommy needs some, you must get Mommy's attention. Try knocking the door a few times, you little scamp. And you have to shoot the door a few times for Mummy to come in. All the other characters are just cardboard, literal cardboard standees. There's a bit where you play catch with your dad, and he's a cardboard standee with a swivelly arm that throws balls at you, and you have to shoot the balls out of the air. So it's very much like a target shooting game, and there's about 100 gun jokes in it per minute. It's very funny. It's quite long as well. The problem I've got at the minute, I've hit a game-breaking bug and I have to restart.
Oh, that was this one. I remember.
I'm at the hospital and my wife is going to give birth to our baby child, and it's broken. And here was me just getting used to sitting down watching television and drinking beer with my guns. When you're finished, you have to shoot the empty can into the bin. It's really fun. And there's so far been one incident of very, very, very cruel language. Very, very crass language. It took me so by surprise, I had to take the headset off and have a little laugh break. Because it was very kind of, yes, wonderful. Young Billy is going to go to his first dance. Oh, but she's there to meet you. Oh, but it's the local tough kid. Why don't you outdance him? That kind of very kind of 50s television sounds, the whole thing. And then it just throws in the middle of nowhere, one heinous swear. And I'm whoa, where did that come from, swear? But I'm not going to say what it was, because that's part of the fun.
Yeah, don't ruin it.
No, I won't ruin it. But you do all sorts. You work at a car wash, and you've got a machine gun that shoots the dirt off of the cars. You work in a burger joint, and you shoot the burgers to flip them over to cook them. You have to shoot the rats out of donuts and shoot the holes through the donuts. It's just a fun game. And it's a shame that it's kind of glitched the way it was. Because I was really enjoying it. I want to see what else we're going to do with the shotgun, because I've just unlocked the shotgun. I had the sex in the game. It showed me how to do the sex by pumping the shotgun a lot.
Oh dear.
Yeah. And pump the shotgun until the barrel turns red. And you're pump, 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 pump. I'm wanking a gun right now. Oh dear.
Shocking.
And because you knock up your girlfriend before you're married, you have to have a shotgun wedding.
Oh dear.
With the shotguns.
Everything that you'd said up until this point was seeming so positive.
Oh, in its defence, it's very funny, and it's played completely for laughs. I'm just so annoyed that it's broken near the end, or halfway through, because I'm literally at about the halfway point. I just had my... It actually does an intermission, you're about halfway through. How many bullets do you think you have fired? Well done. And the character that kind of says all this is a dog, an adorable dog that's a dog, model, the kind of that you see outside of butcher shops, just an adorable fiberglass dog. And then one of the questions, who's a good boy? And you have to shoot the picture of the dog. Thank you. Woof woof. But yeah, that was very, very unique, very fun, lots and lots of jokes, some of them rooted in current day politics, shall we say. And I just had such a joyous time with it. I played it over sort of 3 nights, and then it broke, so I'm just kind of summoning the energy to go back and start again. because no amount.
It sounds like you still have fun with it. Though.
Oh, I'm having tremendous fun with it. Like, it is really, and I'd actually recommend it as a fun shooting gallery style game to play. Like, it's not your standard shoot all the zombies for max points. It's just about, here's a fun thing to try. Now try something different. Now here's a different gun. Try this. Now there's one with a scope. Now there's a machine gun. There's your other guns back. Now you're going to drink a beer with your guns. Enjoy your beer. You even have to shoot the beer can lid off, and then you have to hold the can up to your mouth with the other gun to drink from it, and then you throw the can away. It's got not polish, but lots of ideas. I would say it's not the most polished game, but it's funny, and it's fun to play, and I'm enjoying it.
I think you can get beyond that degree of jank with VR if there's the experience is there. And
to be fair, most VR games I've played have had some element of jank to them because it's not one-to-one. I had it in the American Dream. I'm trying to load up my rifle. And I hold up my controllers, but because it works off one camera at the front, I line up my two controllers to aim the gun, and it loses the behind one. It goes, blah! And the gun goes all over the place because it doesn't know where the controller's gone. So I have to kind of learn to kind of aim a bit cock-handed, which was fine. I got used to it in the end, but kind of it wasn't where I naturally had my hands. It's a bit of a shame, but I generally had lots of fun with it. I think in general, like the VR headset, I paid £200 for that. The PlayStation Worlds game, which has the London Heist game that I've talked about on the show before, Wipeout and Resi, and I feel like I've got my money's worth. I genuinely feel like I've got a really good deal here. Like, there's more games coming out every week, it would seem, with VR capable at the minute. Not all of them are going to be bangers, but
there was the worry that that kind of Sony wouldn't carry on supporting it, but that doesn't appear to be the case.
They've done a better job with this than they did with fucking Wonder Book, I'll tell you that much. Bloody hell, remember that? I think like the image could be sharper. If I had a PS4 Pro, would it be better? Maybe, I don't know. I've heard things run a little bit better on the Pro. I've still got my regular initial PS4 that I got at launch. But yeah, for what you're paying, like, it's more than good. And even like though the resolution's not the sharpest, you get used to it. Once you've sat there, you can, I can wear it with my glasses. Like, they actually recommend if you use glasses to put it over the top of them. And that works absolutely fine, It doesn't feel like it's any further forward off my face than it should be. You can still see a little bit of the real world around the outside, but that's fine. You don't really focus on that. You're looking in the game at the time. And just like, we talked about this before when we had the time after Pete came down to visit me and brought his headset down. Like, being in there, you can't describe what it's like. Because it's like, you're in the game, you're actually here. I know it sounds like a really shit way of putting it, but like, you're genuinely sitting there inside of it, and you can move your head around, you can kind of move in and out of the area, you can look at things a bit closer. It's just, I don't know, man, it just feels like well realised and affordable. Like, it's not going to cost you a really good computer than £800 for an Oculus Rift. As good as they are, as well head tracking and as dead accurate as those controllers can be, fair enough. I've got a pretty good solid VR experience here for a reasonable amount of money, and then when they do another one, which, when the next consoles get announced, I imagine they'll probably start thinking about this pretty early. I'd like to think they would, about integrating it and having it be, this sort of primo, still relatively budget end, but high quality bit of kit. Like, I think they've probably got a lot of things they can learn from it. I think with the interaction with the PS4, if they've got it, built in to be compatible with the theoretical PlayStation 5 from the get-go, and make it an optional packing, kind of like what the Xbox One did with the Kinect, but not quite. I don't know. I've not thought about it that hard. Yeah, make it not mandatory, but well integrated.
It's different. It's different times now. From, you can think of what they were trying to do with the Xbox One when it launched, and as cack-handed as the message was, they were probably ahead of the time a little bit with the the digital stuff and the always on. Remember people sort of being up in arms about, like, why would I want my internet plugged into my console all the time? And it's just standard.
Is the thing. I don't think I've turned my internet off for a year.
Yeah.
So, like, of course it's always online because I'm always online. Why would I turn it off? Unless I was resetting it because it crashed.
This is the thing, and there's a guy at my local sort of game who I was talking to about it like years ago, and he was like, all they had to do was just go, it's like Steam.
Yeah.
It's like yeah, that just shows how cack-handed that leadership was.
Marketing! Hooray! So yeah, unless you've got any questions, that's about all I've got for VR.
No, it's cool that it's hitting the spot for you, because I know there was a trepidation about flogging stuff before you could get it, and
yeah,
it sounds
but
like
I feel like
you've
I've
not
done
only
well.
got your money's worth, but you've got momentum kind of going forward.
And every bit extra,
well.
every bit extra I've spent, I've been able to then spend back on games. That's why I got Skyrim. That's why I got the American Dream. Like every extra thing I spent, I can afford. I've got my eye on No Time to Explain, which not Time to Explain. Don't keep talking and nobody explodes. That's what I meant. Which is the bomb defusal one, where one person in VR can see the bomb and everybody else gets the manual on the screen, and you have to tell the person how to defuse the bomb.
I got you.
It's really funny. There's a game called I Expect You to Die, which looks quite fun, which is basically James Bond simulator. You're stuck in a death trap and have to work your way out of it. It looks like a laugh. And what else? I want to get Thumper as well, because that seems like my kind of thing. Just sitting there and having a game hate me for 10 minutes at a time. Like, that sounds good. So yeah, fucking VR. I got my money's worth. I'm happy with it. I've got a new PlayStation Eye now, the kind of the tube one that looks like some Smarties, with some holes cut out. Yeah, chuff with it, mate. Chuff with it. Rock-a-doodle-do. I even considered doing a podcast inside the VR zone, but that would have been too much work.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, so we're talking. I'm just like, well, I'm in Skyrim. Way.
Are there any notes there?
Yeah. What have you got to say about it? I don't know. Screen. So yeah, you told me earlier you have another big thing to talk about.
I do.
Is it a hefty one? Has it got girth?
Yeah. Well, it's hefty in the same way as like my notes for Kamen Rider Build were hefty, but I seem to get all of that out of the way in 15 minutes, where you've doubled that on each of your doobage. So,
well, I've just been talking because I'm freestyle. I don't constrain myself to notes. I just let the words spit.
You are the hot stepper.
Gorilla Rock.
Right. So I'm gonna launch into.
Sorry, I haven't thought about a song in years.
Sorry, have you not talked enough?
It's my turn, damn it. Please,
right.
Please. Continue. You have
That's
my blessing.
It's very kind. Thank you.
One more note.
Right, so I'm going to start off with Monster Hunter World.
Whoa! That's that game that we played after Christmas for a while.
So we've done 2 specific episodes about this already. I drifted away from
Say
it.
the thing. Say the thing.
What?
2 episodes. What were they called?
The Huge Monster Teeth.
Yeah.
It's another one of my slices of creative genius, darling.
It's good, that.
Yeah. So I drifted away from it. I didn't think I'd come back, but I have.
What?
The PS4 version, I thought we'd smash into it together in the same way as we had with Warframe, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, I sort of went ahead.
You, like everybody else, just kind of battered off into the sunset. And I don't know if I was a bit intimidated by everyone already being over there, or just a bit sad that a me thing that looked like it was going to be an us thing wasn't.
It turned out to be a me thing. This is just classic you, though, isn't it? I think this is classic you, Captain Contrary. Like, I know you don't take games quickly. I know your pace can be described as glacial at best sometimes. As we will talk about on a future episode of something. Oh, look at that. But yeah, like, I mean, I wouldn't say I was progressing quickly. I was just kind of doing it at a natural speed. And because I was kind of playing it a lot, I guess I was going fast. I didn't feel like I was trying to power level. I think I was just playing at my own speed. But I was playing it a lot. I was doing it every night for 3 or 4 hours and just kind of zoning out, I guess. But I guess you maybe weren't doing that.
I think that, I mean, a lot of the stuff with my gaming habits, I guess, and the hours that I work, are that I can be waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning and do a shift, and then the next day I could maybe have a later shift and then get in later and then still have to get up at 4 o'clock the next morning. So there's a certain point where fatigue can kick in, and I was just quite enjoying myself in the same way as I had when I'd played Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, where I was just relaxing into the online stuff, helping people, just getting sort of better gear and just taking it slowly. And it was a fun game to relax into. But at that point, like literally everybody was way further than I was. So yeah, I just kind of it did sadden me a lot. So went on to other stuff, and then our friend Peter Cleaves sent me a link when the seemingly Japan-only Monster Hunter Double Cross was actually announced as coming out over here on Switch as Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, and then kind of right out of the blue, it kind of lit a fire under me. I was like, that Monster Hunter World, I kind of missed that now.
Oh, to hunt the monster in a world.
Yeah. I started thinking about how much I'd enjoyed Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate back in the day. I watched a few vids by Gadget Girl Kylie and Gaijin Hunter and Arex on sort of Double Cross Generations Ultimate, both gameplay-wise and them exploring the difference between World and Generations Ultimate. I listened to 84 Play chat about whether they thought they could actually go back to the old style of Monster Hunter after the superb quality of life changes that arrived in World. All of this happened at the same time as the Xbox One version of Monster Hunter World sort of hit 20 quid. Xbox One's the console I used the most, and I was curious as to how the game would feel on the Elite gamepad. I do love those paddles underneath, and not taking thumbs off the sticks is a big draw for boss fights anyway.
Is it your favourite pad?
Yeah, not you. So I'd mentioned before, kind of like boss battles are great when you don't have to take your thumbs off the sticks, and it takes a bit of breaking the muscle memory, but it's a really intelligent piece of design. And with that working in boss fights and like Souls and stuff, I thought it's going to be perfect for Monster Hunter World, and for the most part, that's true.
Ooh.
It looks lovely, runs a bit smoother than the Pro, I think, but mainly it's the feel of that gamepad during battles that works the best. Combos in particular work crazy well, and the feeling of getting out of tight situations doesn't feel as much as of a scurry moving between and kind of getting off the next shot. And I've still been playing bow.
Okay, that was my next question actually. Yeah, what you're using?
Yeah, still loving that. So, but that said, the one version doesn't feel as luxuriant in terms of the players playing around you. The PS4 version brought in like Japanese and Asian players alongside the West, and it felt. It was sort of rather a tickle to feel like the Earth was playing Monster Hunter. And
well, they kind of were, weren't they? I mean...
Yeah. But it's a nice feeling. And early doors on Xbox One, I found myself inadvertently collecting particularly rough, non-Japanese, Western-specific usernames in my mind as I went along. So I'm sure this must be there in the PS4 users too, but it started to make me laugh. So for you, my top 3.
Oh my god.
Right?
I'm excited.
Number 3, Monster Toucher.
Okay. Oh, the level's going to be fucked on that one. Sorry, everyone.
To be honest, any of these you could have... It's sort of name that you might have come up with anyway, and I feel in your laugh that there's a disappointment that you didn't get there first.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of happy when I chose my character in the beta and I called him Monster Hunter.
Yeah, but Monster Toucher is a good one.
Pretty good.
The next one I'm going to spell it out first before saying it. The spelling is Lyongdyck. Lyong Dick. You can imagine them going like, long dick, oh, can't use that. Put Y in there, and we're away. And in the number 1 position, the immortal Poo Bum. Now, on Generation... On a Generation Ultimate stream last night, Gadget Girl Kylie had somebody join her for a game, and they were called Solemn Bum. And whilst we can all admire the delights of a pert bum, and then try and muse on what a solemn bum would be, I think we can all agree it's better than a poo bum.
Oh, that's
so.
great.
Oh yeah, and a shout out to, there was one player, I can't remember the name specifically, but the username sounded all sort of Lord of the Rings and Victorian, and there was a certain title to it.
Athrandiel.
Yeah, and there was a point in the game when they went mounting the monster, and they put up the shout out, "I'm gonna ride you like a Bronco, girl." Class.
Oh,
And
I love that. I love doing that. And well, you can set your own ones up.
Yeah, but I'm gonna ride you like a Bronco, girl.
I'm gonna ride you
IMMA.
Wow.
I had to write that down straight away afterwards. It was great, and I was like, but yeah, these are my people, and these are my people.
Wow.
So yeah, I've been.
Have you set up your own shouts? Just to divert slightly, because I remember making Pete laugh with mine. Whenever I get stunned, I set mine up to go, "I can't feel my legs."
I've only done one, and it was pretty tame. It was like something like top stuff, thanks all, or something like that. But yeah, I've been taking my time with it. But outside of the different games, we've coaxed one another into co-oping on PS4, which shall be in future shows. It's pretty much all I've been playing at that point, but having fun, relaxing into it after work, and I think I understand what I'm doing a little better than last time. I'm still not super deep into it, I guess. I've got to Wildspire Waste. I've fought the big red doggy thing, and that's a great level. I really like that. All the monsters there have been great.
The big red dog, do you mean the Rotten Vale?
Yes.
With the Odogaron, and the Great Gyros, which I really like, and which means you fought what's his name? Uragan, the spiky boy.
Yeah, all of the monsters there I thought were fantastic.
Great music as well.
Oh, yeah. But I've even fought them again in like arena quests, and really loved sort of doing that. I thought that when I went to that level, that I wouldn't like it, thinking that it's going to be all grotty and blah. But it's a really memorable, well-designed level, and I like I say, the monsters make it. I think it's possibly the most consistent run of monsters for a level that I've done. I've just gone back and done Diabolos, because there's two that I needed to get out of the way so I could progress. So
Diabolos and the other one.
Was it
Rathalos?
Wrath. Yeah, I think it's Rathian, I think it is. Or is it Rathalos?
I think it's Rathalos. I think you're Rathian, then Rathalos is Big Boy.
So I'm surprisingly for me, I'm fairly overpowered at this point.
Oddly enough.
Yeah, after doing what I usually do, meaning twatting about and helping other people and collecting hella stuffs. So yeah, this thing glues into the next thing, which is Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate.
Whoa, you've skipped the whole console. Whoa,
yeah,
leaping the boundaries. Crossplay not allowed on PS4.
It released this week. I wondered how I'd get on with going back to old Monster Hunter, and initially it was a bit of a headfuck, honestly.
I've heard that from a lot of people. They're saying it's a bit difficult. All the quality of life stuff's now gone again, so it's like I've lost it.
So environments are much more sparse, obviously, but it's still super pretty in the same way as you could admire a PS2 game for being super pretty. But it's just crisped up and it looks sort of nice on screen. Colours are really really beautiful, and it is a looker, even if it's showing kind of its origins from the place that they crisped it up from. The first monster I fought was Ace. It's the Great Macau, which is this multicoloured chicken thing.
Of course it is.
Which kind of sits back on its it bends its tail so it can sit back on it like an IKEA chair. It shunts around to determine where you are, and then mega fast just goes like scooch, 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 like in your direction, like bombs it towards you. kind of like when a dog is dragging its arse on a carpet, but leaning back on its tail this time and launching like a rocket. And it also does this. It tracks you slowly, and it does this kind of boxing Russian double uppercut jab attack, which took me a while to figure out how to evade because chicken got your boy sussed, yo.
The chicken monster's always good because I really liked in World. I really like Kulu Yaku and Zizi Yaku, the Flash Raptor.
Yeah.
Chicken monsters were always my favourite. I've really enjoyed fighting those.
The first of them in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate was kind of a duck chicken type monster, but the cool thing about that was that you'd fight it, and then at a certain point it could do impressions of other monsters. So it might do an impression of a Rathalos sounding like it's in trouble, and a Rathalos would turn up and just start ripping the place up. And it's like, that's a really good idea for a monster. So yeah, this the music throughout this fight was just, it was like a Moroccan heroin rave. It was all like, it's like, and again, like I was like, yeah, this is tops. I tried the bow to start off with. It's very different from Monster Hunter World. You get no targeting reticule, and at least for that first mission, it appears to be merely tickling the monster.
Ooh.
Like your default one. So I went on a gathering quest, tried to take it down, and just ran out of time. I thought I'd go back to my original Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate fave, the long sword, and then took it down in about 20 minutes. So it's not me, it's you, love. I'm committed to giving the bow a proper shake, though, so I'll have to see what upgrades kick in sort of further down the line when I get something a bit better. Downsides for the game, particularly for those starting with World and going into Generations Ultimate, it's hard to pass where to go at the start and what you're supposed to do.
Because I watched you play 3 on the Wii U, or 3 Ultimate, whichever one it was. I watched you play a bit of that, and like, I could see what you were doing, but the actual logic to what you were like, we're going to go here now, it didn't seem to make sense. Like, the scout flies, like I hear people say they miss the scout flies. It's like, get the scent, follow the scout flies, there's the monster.
There is something about the older games, though, which is, whilst it's not as intuitive and it's not as fast-paced, and all of those quality of life decisions for World are perfect, flat out perfect. There's something to be said for the older games, for the way that you had to prepare for something, and there were steps you had to take to like get a monster. I mean, you're wandering around and you're trying to find the thing first. You've not got scout flies leading you on. You're trying to find it. You've got paintballs, which you can then sort of throw at the monster, which makes them show up on the map. Or, as I saw in an Arex video, apparently there'll be a certain... I don't know how anybody worked this out. You'll go into a certain part and you'll see in the sky, you'll see a hot air balloon in the sky.
Right.
If you do the wave emote at the hot air balloon, it will track the monster.
What?
It will instantly find it and show it up on your map. But you're looking out for this hot air balloon and then doing a wave emote at it. That wave emote thing sounds like the sort of stupid shit that you would do.
Yeah.
And it's rewarding it. So, well played for that.
Like that would have been, ooey, what the fuck?
I know, and then all of a sudden it's on the map, it's like, what?
Like the first time I played Bloodborne and I waved at the doll and she waved back and I was like, Laura!
Yeah.
Look what happened when I did the thing!
Generations starts you out in a much smaller hub than Monster Hunter World. Lots of folks with speech bubbles, like I say, even though it's smaller, it does seem sort of... What am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go?
Dense.
Gathering quests are important if you want to build up a cache of stuff beyond the missions themselves. You're not just really bombing into a mission and running past something and grabbing it. You stop and you kind of dig for it a bit. Okay. So it takes a bit longer. You now have to eat before you go out. It's not like you land at the tent and then there's a little camp, that you can go to. Let me see. So supplies initially seem to be on the low side. In World, within no time, I had enough honey to be classed as a bee.
Yeah,
Here, I was like, where is the honey? Oh, where? And then like, oh, here's one. You've given me one honey. one. But on launch day, Capcom put up a downloadable pack with loads of stuff in it. Literally, like all the 3DS DLC gubbins. Mammoth item packs, so there's early moments you don't have to worry too much about foraging for stuff. And everything you do get, you can kind of build on from there. So from here, I presume it'd be like 3 Ultimate, where online becomes a bit of a saviour. You're fighting alongside established hunters, being carried a bit mainly, and coming back with stuff that you can then take your own game further. You've also got in this, you've got solo activities as well as online activities, so they're completely separate.
Okay.
So you've got missions that you do have to do on your own. So
that's cool. I played a lot of World Solos. That's kind of cool to hear.
I mean, my game arrived Saturday and the online went up on Tuesday, so I've yet to kind of delve into that front. Like I say, it's easy to look at the world and see the smart choices that they made to streamline it. Plus, 10 million copies sold worldwide in less than a year.
Hard to argue.
That kind of underlines that. However,
yeah,
Generations Ultimate does bring back the bonkers. It seems much more unrestrained and confident in being daft. The Sir Digby Chicken Caesar run is back. Saving your game just doesn't sit you neatly on the corner of a bed, but you leap back and poof, duft rises off the sheets. This is what I wanted. It's got 93 monsters instead of 30, and these appear to not only be a rogues gallery of previous games, because it is a celebration of the history of
Generations, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but it contains some absolute belters that made me go, oh, I remember you! You not only have the weapons that you're using, but you've got hunter arts as well, these sort of superpowers that you can use alongside your weapons, and you can monkey with hunter styles on top of those to decide which you want to use. Cats. You can
always
have a palico alongside you, as per world, but you can also be a palico.
What?
Not tried it yet, but as far as I can tell, this not only means that you are a scampering, quick little bastard, but you don't have to watch stamina either.
Oh.
So you forge armor with their armor with the offcuts that come from you making your own armor.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's like, oh, we've got this bit on the side. Yeah, you go to like a little separate cat armorer.
Okay.
That's on. And the armorer is called Manville, which I think is brilliant.
Good name.
Yeah. And you go to like the separate cat armorer, and they basically talk about the offcuts that you've had from like your main armor to go into it. And also with the DLC stuff that's there's a quest where you can, one of the outfits you can wear, one of the armors, not skin, one of the armors you can wear for your palico, a Kami.
What? Yeah. Oh, that sounds like just like the dumb stuff they did on World with Mega Man and stuff.
Yeah, but a Kami.
That's cool.
Basically, it's a cat sitting inside an outfit of a
dog.
White and red wolf.
Jeez.
Yeah, with its eyes peering out its mouth. Also, the Garwin mask is back. That duck mask that I loved in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, where I rolled and So that is back, but I've not got it yet. Also, there's some like really bizarre, like if you imagine the sort of peaceful Diplodocus type monsters that you see in the first area, there's a mask that is their head, literally complete with massive neck and eyes that look like they're deeply disappointed in you. So yeah, yesterday I played it pretty much all day. Stuff started clicking. I was having fun. Like I say, there's a lot of transition between the two games, but for those who loved World, I'd say persevere.
Okay.
You'll find a great deal to love. So now I'm playing Monster Hunter over 2 different games across 3 different systems. Capcom may now get to keep me, but I'm in romantic love.
Well, you could maybe do it on a 4th game next year, because on the Monster Hunter tip. We'll just very briefly veer into this very quickly. They put the Rathalos in Smash Brothers.
They've done a swapping thing with Final Fantasy XIV as well.
Oh,
where
the Behemoth.
The Rathalos is in Final Fantasy XIV, and the Behemoth is in Monster Hunter World.
Apparently, it's the most tactical fight of the whole game.
Oh, I've seen some streams of it. It looks absolutely bonkers. But yeah, I've been watching a few streams as I've been playing as well. Gadget with Kylie, she's now on Mixer as well as YouTube, so I've been watching her. And there's a fella called Triceps who's part of RX Gaming, and he's just like a really big, lovable, brilliant, honest, joyous guy, like a lot of heart. So I'd like to get him on the show at a certain point because he's a top fella. But yeah, that's my other one.
Cool, good one.
That leaves us at 1 hour and 44 minutes.
It's pretty good.
And then a minute to say goodbye.
Oh, saying goodbye now?
Yeah. Goodbye now.